know, people are waiting for my downfall.
Chisanga Malata here with a man who needs no introduction. He joined me bang on time as well. I was just praising him for his timekeeping there. The one and only Jonathan the Hitman Haggerty. Jonathan, how are you doing?
I'm great, thank you, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good, thank you. First question before we get into all the fight stuff. Are you happy? I know you're a Millwall fan. Are you happy with the FA Cup draw? You got Crystal Palace. It's a South London derby. How excited are you?
I mean, do you know what? I'll be totally honest. I'd say I'm a Chelsea fan.
Oh, really? I thought you were a Millwall fan because, like, given the area where
Do
you're from.
I mean, yeah, it's. I do go to the Millwall games quite a lot just because it's like round the corner and I've grown up going to Millwall. But if I was to support a team and go and watch good football, it'd be Chelsea.
Ah, fair
So
enough.
yeah,
You guys are doing well this season.
yeah, that's it. I've actually stopped watching it now because I'm out here in Thailand. So fight camps put my mind off the football at the moment.
Fair enough. And how has this fight camp been so far? Has it been as long as the last camp for Superlek? Because I know that was about 13, 14 weeks long. Have you shortened it a bit this time?
Yeah, the Superlek fight was 12, I think it was 13 weeks. Yeah, you're right. This time it's been about, it will be 9 weeks this time. It's not as long. Everything's been perfect. And it's the last week now. So we're here and we're ready to rock and roll.
And what would you say for you personally is the sweet spot for you camp wise? Because I know you're still quite young, so you could do longer camps, but sometimes long camps like you end up being a little bit drained and overtrained towards the end.
Yeah.
What would you say personally for you is a sweet spot?
See, I'm a perfectionist. I like to be more than ready. You know, I don't like to rush the fight camp. I like the process of it. So I'd say around about 9 weeks is perfect for me. Anything under that, it's just like, oh, am I ready? Am I ready? Even though I will be ready, but I just need that 9 weeks to be solid and just to leave no stone unturned. So I'd say about 9 weeks.
Okay, that's good. And you're still young enough, like where the weight falls off. Like at my age, once you hit 30, like well, I'm not late 30s, yeah, I've just turned 35. It takes a little bit longer for the pounds to start to shed, but you've got plenty of time before you need to worry about that.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
All right, so you're going into this fight obviously on the back of the loss to Superlek. You've had several months to sit back and assess your performance that night in Denver. How would you assess how that fight went?
I was gutted with that fight, you know. I feel like I took the loss better than I expected it. Um, I think the main key was that I lost the belt before, so I told myself that I've picked myself up off the ground before, and I've got back and I've got the belt back. So that's been one positive. I've been overall positive. I've everything I've done in that fight camp, I've transitioned it over to this fight camp. I've stayed fit, I've stayed ready, I've stayed motivated, and I'm hungrier more than ever now. So it's going to be a great fight, and I'm excited for this one.
And obviously, you no doubt would have seen that Superlek is keen to have a second fight with you for kickboxing. Now, I know you're the type to want to avenge things as soon as possible, provided you get through Wei Rui. Is that something that you're willing to entertain?
Yeah, 100%. You know, my eyes on defending the kickboxing belt at the moment. I want to see how the Muay Thai division unravels because there's a lot of up and coming fighters now, and they're all hungry. But see how that gets on, defend the belt, and then after the defense, we'll get back to the drawing board with me and my coach and my team, and then we'll see what the options are. Yeah,
Yeah.
but Superlek is definitely on my radar for sure.
You mentioned the Muay Thai division at this moment in time. It's absolutely on fire. Like, how would you say this is the best that it's been since you joined One Championship?
Yeah, I believe so. We've got some young, hungry fighters now. They're not all Thai fighters as well. We've got some Russian fighters in there now, so they're coming strong and they're coming for the belt. So whoever's on top, it's going to be hard to stay on top. But it's one thing being a champion, but it's another keeping the championship.
And one thing I wanted to ask you about in particular, and I've noticed this seems to be a theme after you come up short. I noticed there seems to be a lot of people who take pleasure in your losses on social media.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, what do you attribute that to?
I'm not too sure. I just feel like maybe because I'm doing well. You know, people are. waiting for my downfall. It's a shame, really, because I feel like I put everything into this sport, and for people to be waiting on my downfall is a little bit upsetting. But it is what it is. All I can do is just focus on myself and be the best person that I can be, and that's what I'm doing right now. Just focusing on myself.
Yeah, like I'd understand if you'd like maybe said some controversial things or acted controversially outside of the ring, but it's almost like you become the most hated fighter in Muay Thai on social media just through no fault of your own, as you mentioned there, just through winning. Like, would you agree with that assessment or?
Well, yeah, there's always going to be some haters, but we take it as a massive compliment. We must be doing something right. But maybe it's down to, I don't know if it's jealousy. No, I wouldn't say jealousy, but I mean, I'm probably at the place now where everyone wants to be, and I've got what everybody wants, and that's the title. So maybe that might be the target, really. Not too sure. Stay in my own lane. I
Yeah. Well, you've got the title, but your name is arguably almost bigger than a title in itself.
appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. It's been hard work.
And how do you put like that noise to the back of your head? Obviously, to a certain extent, you take it on the chin and you use it as fuel. But if you consume too much of that, that can not be good for your mental psyche. How do you balance that?
Yeah, 100%. Some people look into it way too much. I'm quite easygoing. I can let it go in one ear, out the other, or just over my head. All I have to do is believe in myself, believe in my training, and I know what I'm capable of in that ring. So that's all that matters. As soon as you touch glove and the bell goes, outsiders are not in the ring. So it's only up to me. So winning is the best thing to do, in my opinion, and stay winning.
That's very true. That's very true. And obviously, you're returning to action next week in Qatar. Was this time frame for a return always the idea? Did you want to get back in there a bit earlier, or?
Yeah, I wanted to get in there as soon as possible, really. I didn't really get to show what I had in the bank, what I had in the tank, really, for the last show. It was 13 weeks of hard work. Um, Went a month out there before any other fight. I was up in the mountains doing some crazy stuff. And the fight only unfortunately lasted 49 seconds. So I took everything away from that fight camp and brought it over to this fight camp. So it wasn't a waste. It was a lesson that I've learned, and we're just building step by step. So we're going to be the best that we can be. 20th of February.
Yeah, and you're returning. They haven't given you a gimme opponent for this fight in Wei Rui. It's obviously, I think, what he's 21 or 22 fights undefeated. It's a good fight stylistically, but what have you made of his style in your pre-fight assessment?
Yeah, 100%. He's a well-rounded fighter. He's a credible opponent. He's the number one in the division for a reason. We ain't taking him lightly. I think he's got 70 wins and 3 losses. That just speaks to himself, really. Um, we know he's a southpaw, so we've been working on some great game plans with me and my coach. And yeah, come February the 20th, it's going to be explosive. He brings the fire, I bring the fire. So it's going to be a hell of a show, and I'm excited for it.
And I know that obviously this is only the first fight of the year, but what does your ideal 2025 look like?
Defend the kickboxing belt, maybe twice, and then get the Muay Thai belt back if I'm able to get the chance. So yeah, hopefully end the year with 2 belts again.
Um, I ask you this all the time. I will say to you, are you in Chatri's ear about finally bringing the show to the UK? Have you heard anything from him about that? Because I mean, obviously you've still got a very very long career ahead of you, but we don't want to wait too long. We don't want
Yeah.
it to be like a farewell homecoming type thing situation for you before we get you headlining a show in the UK. So have you been in Chatri's ear about getting it done?
I mean, 100%. I think it's due now. I think I've done my part by winning the world title. I've still got the world title, so I think I've done my part, and it's just up to one championship now to bring it to the UK. They've got a main event sitting right here for the one of the stadiums. Not sure what stadium, but I think he put something up the other day in a press conference saying he would love to do it, and it's all lining up. So hopefully one day we can get that ticked off.
I know every Muay Thai fan's dream main event would be you against Liam Harrison. I don't think that's going to happen because he seemingly only got maybe one more fight left before he calls it quits. If not Liam Harrison, who is the second dream opponent for the UK show for you?
I feel like it would have been Nico Carrillo, but I think he's moved up to featherweight now. So I think he's probably one of the only ones at the moment. So maybe I might have to bulk up a bit and move up a weight. But who knows? Um, yeah, it's just see what other UK fighters are coming through because there's some great talent coming through now. So hopefully they all do well, get to the pinnacle, and yeah, there'll be some great fights.
Yeah. And who's your favorite Chelsea player then of all time then? A bit off topic, but who's your
Oof.
favorite Chelsea player?
It's got to be. It's two. There's Frank Lampard or Didier Drogba.
Yeah, Drogba doesn't get enough love. I think he was probably one of
Yeah,
the best
yeah,
players in the Premier League history
100%. And I used to like Mata and Hazard.
before they left. Is that
Yeah, yeah. And then they
yeah.
went, and then they went downhill a little bit.
Yeah, oh, especially Hazard is like he got the bag going to Real Madrid and he literally just fell off a cliff.
Yeah,
Literally fell
I
off.
mean, he got the bag. He literally fell off the cliff.
Yeah, to be fair, man, if you're signing like a multi-million pound deal with Real Madrid, like yeah, you're probably just well, it's either going to take you upwards in one way in your work ethic, or it's going to take you downwards. But yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it, really. Yeah, exactly that.
And speaking of work that ties into your success. You've reached the mountain, you've reached the pinnacle. How do you keep your work ethic so high and keep grinding away, even though well, I don't want to say you've accomplished everything you've already set out for, but you near enough have.
Yeah, see, with me, I never stop learning. Even though, like you said, I'm at the pinnacle now. I'm always learning. I always want to learn. I've got the best coach in the world, Christian Knowles, and he's a great coach, and I'm always learning from him. I'm learning from other fighters as well, picking up new techniques, and I'm just trying to be the best fighter that I can possibly be, so I don't lose the title. So yeah, just keep bettering myself.
Fair enough. And final one for me, how does this fight with Wei Rui play out?
You know what? I've been sleeping. It sounds funny it actually sounds funny. As I'm sleeping, I'm actually throwing punches in my sleep and I'm visioning how it's gonna go. And round two is what I would put my money on. But obviously I don't like to call rounds, but I've got a good feeling about this one. So stay tuned.
All right, Jonathan Haggerty, it's a pleasure as always to speak to you. Thank you very much for the time today. Hope the rest of the camp goes well. Good luck with the weight cut, and hopefully speak to you at some point soon.
Thank you very much, mate. Nice to see you again.